Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
How good is Manchester United target Alex Telles, and how does he compare to Sergio Reguilon? If you're looking for cheap, good quality football jerseys, then go over to www.jerseyfever.com where you can get the new season's jerseys from just $25, and they even have retro jerseys as well. A link will be left in the description below, and if you use the coupon code ATLANTISFOOTBALL you'll get 5% off. So in this video I will be analysing Alex Telles, who has been linked with Manchester United heavily in the last week or so from a statistical, stylistic and tactical perspective. Towards the end of the video I will also be comparing him against Sergio Reguilon, who is another left back that Manchester United have been heavily linked with as well, and decide which of the two Manchester United should sign. I did do a separate video on Reguilon which goes into a further analysis of him. You can check out that video after this as well. It will be linked in the eye above and in the description below. So Alex Telles is Porto's 27-year-old Brazilian left back who has just 1 year left on his current contract and would probably be attainable for around £20 million. Porto are reportedly after a fee of around £27 million, but I think as Telles will go on a free next summer and there doesn't appear to be a great amount of interest in him, United could probably negotiate that asking price down to around £20 million. But what sort of fullback is Alex Telles? Well, before I get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications, and give this video a like if you enjoy it. Also, after this video check out some of my others linked in the description below and on the playlist section on my channel. Telles can best be described as an offensive fullback whose best attribute is his crossing ability, in particular his crosses from deep positions on the flank. At Porto he's been excellent at receiving the ball on the left flank and whipping in an early outswinging cross. This worked perfectly for Porto, who for the last few seasons have used a target man as a centre forward in Moussa Marega, who is very good in the air, and with Telles putting in these crosses, Porto are able to create a lot of high value chances. This is a different type of crossing ability to Sergio Reguilon's. Reguilon is a much better low crosser than he is a deep crosser, which means he prefers to get in behind the back line and almost pass the ball across the 6-yard box, which often involves a lot more interplay down the left channel as he seeks to make a dynamic run either over or underlapping the wide attacker rather than receiving the ball and putting in an early cross as Telles likes to do. Telles' creative ability can be seen as last season in Liga NOS he completed the 5th most key passes of any fullback in the league with 1.9 per 90 minutes, which was behind only Nuno Sequeira, Marcos Acuna, Alejandro Grimaldo and Porto's right back Jesus Corona. Most of these key passes come from crossing situations, as seen as he's completed the most crosses of any player in Liga NOS last season with 260. In many ways, Telles is a similar type of attacking fullback to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He doesn't have the same dribbling ability or movement in behind the back line when compared to his crossing ability, which can be seen as he's only completed 0.7 dribbles per 90 minutes last season, just the 26th most of any fullback in Liga NOS, which shows that his dribbling ability is a weakness in his game when compared to other top left backs. We can see this if we compare him to Sergio Reguilon. Reguilon last season in La Liga completed 1.7 dribbles per 90 minutes, which was the 5th most in the league of any fullback and considerably more than Alex Telles. Defensively, Telles is a good front foot defender, able to anticipate passes into wide attackers and move out of the back line to intercept the pass, which can be seen as last season he completed 2 interceptions per 90 minutes in Liga NOS, the 8th most of any fullback despite playing for the league champions. His tackling is also solid, with his technique being a front foot one, moving towards a play with the ball rather than waiting for the wide attacker to shift the ball past him before making a sliding tackle. This can be seen as he completes 1.2 tackles per 90 minutes and has a tackle to dribble pass ratio of 68%. However, I do think his defensive insecurities could be found out in the Premier League compared to someone like Reguilon. I would say that Reguilon is a lot more mobile than Telles, more aware of players' movement in behind him, and Reguilon also has greater speed which allows him to get back and make recovery tackles. Neither are poor defenders, so would be able to fulfill their defensive responsibilities in Solskjaer's 4-2-3-1. However, the decision about who United should sign at left back has to come down to what United need from their left back. I analysed this in more detail in my Who Manchester United Should Sign video, where I went over the positions that needed improvement and who would be my first choice picks in terms of players to be brought into those areas. That video will be linked in the description below and in the eye above. But in short, United need a left back who can progress the ball from the middle to the final third, primarily using their dribbling ability. This is because towards the back end of last season, opposition sides realised that if they remain narrow and compact, when out of possession, and force United to funnel their attacks through the fullbacks, then United's system became a lot easier to defend, as Williams, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, all of United's fullback options, do not have the dynamic dribbling ability and speed that is needed. This leads to the ball going out to the United fullbacks and them lethargically dribbling forward with the ball, enabling the opposition opposition side to shuffle over across and close up the spaces in their system, which would often lead to a sideways pass back to one of the central midfielders or to the centre backs. With a better offensive fullback, when the ball is moved out wide of the opposition's narrow defensive shape, the fullback can quickly dribble forward with the ball, committing the opposition's midfielders and allowing United to progress the ball into the opposition's half a lot quicker. In the final third, having a fullback who has winger-like dribbling abilities will allow United to shift the ball out to them and allow them to dribble with the ball into the final third, which is going to subsequently get United to the edge of the box a lot more often than they are currently able to do. Obviously, creative output in the final third is another key attribute that is needed, but I would say for Manchester United specifically, a fullback who can progress the ball forward with dribbles is what they need. That is why I would prefer Reguilón over Terrace, as he's a better dribbler, and I also think his speed and mobility when defending is better suited to this United side, where the left back will not have a lot of defensive protection from the left winger, Marcus Rashford, so will have to be a good one-on-one defender and positionally aware of players moving in behind him around the back post. So even though I do think Terrace would be an offensive improvement on Luke Shaw in the left back position, I think that there are better options for United to pursue, who would also be available for around the same price and are younger than the 27-year-old Porto fullback. However, even if it isn't Manchester United, it seems like Porto are keen to offload Terrace this summer and bring in some kind of transfer fee, so where else would the Brazilian suit? Well, in terms of a stylistic fit, Terrace would need to operate in a side that rely on crosses from their fullbacks, rather than dribbles or overlapping runs. I would say that this makes Terrace a similar kind of fullback to Utd'S at Everton. Both are excellent deep crossers and set piece takers, which is why the comparison between the two is so strong. Tottenham could potentially be a good option for Terrace, as Mourinho's side do need an upgrade on Ben Davies in that position. In Mourinho's 4-2-3-1 system, the left back plays a lot deeper and a lot more reserved than the right back. Matt Doherty does on the opposite side, as he, like Aurier last season, pushes very high up the pitch, whilst the left back creates a back three almost with his deeper positioning. This means that Tottenham's left back doesn't need to have incredible dribbling ability or constantly provide under or overlapping runs, and instead having deep crossing ability would be a lot more valuable, as they are going to be receiving the ball in these deeper areas on the flank, rather than high up the pitch closer to the byline. Terrace's price tag of just 20 to 25 million would also interest Tottenham, who don't appear to be keen on spending massive amounts on transfer fees. Wolves, however, I think would be a better fit, with Jimenez playing the role of a target man who is dominant in the air, perfectly suited to Terrace's game. In the same way that Lucas Digne and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have struck up a great partnership when it comes to crosses into the box, Terrace and Jimenez could do the same, as Terrace is a much better deep crosser than either Vinagre or Johnny, Wolves' current left wing back options. I also think that Antonio Conte's Inter Milan could use Terrace in their side, playing a similar role to the one he would play at Wolves as a left wing back in a 5-3-2. Terrace's crossing ability would be a potent attacking weapon, particularly with Romelu Lukaku playing as Inter's centre forward, as he's one of the best in the world when it comes to scoring aerial chances. Terrace's asking price would also be a reasonable fee for Inter Milan, so it seems like the most sensible deal, with Inter Milan being able to attract Terrace and having a role in their side that is perfectly suited to him. So overall, would Alex Terrace be a good signing for Manchester United? Well, despite me thinking that Alex Terrace is a good individual player, I don't think he's what United need in a left back. They fundamentally need to improve their ability to progress the ball up the pitch, using the fullback's dribbling ability, which is something that Alex Terrace doesn't provide to the same level that other fullbacks available do. Therefore, if I was United, I would avoid this transfer and look for a better fit in that position. You can see the player that I would sign in the left back position by watching my Who Manchester United Should Sign video, which will appear on the end screen at the end of the video. That, alongside some of my other videos, like my Donny van der Beek analysis, will be my Manchester United analysis playlist, which you should check out after this. It will be linked below and on the playlist section on my channel. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.